Okay, so for employee benefits, these are all forms of consideration given by an entity in exchange for service rendered by employees or for the termination of employment. And in terms of our recognition, we recognize it as an expense when employees have rendered service, except to the extent that employee benefits form part of the cost of another asset. So when the employees have rendered service, naipon na nila yung kanilang benefits, then that's the time that we will recognize their benefits as expense. Okay? Kaya naman kapag na-earn na nila pero hindi pa nila claim, meron tayong liabilities as their employers, no? So we will still record an expense, but at the same time, we will also recognize liabilities. There are 4 categories of employee benefits under PAS 19. We have SPOT, short-term employee benefits, post-employment benefits, other long-term employee benefits, and termination benefits. For short-term employee benefits, these are those that are due to be settled within 12 months after the end of the period in which the employees have rendered the related services. Examples include the following. Ayan. Very common, no? Salaries, wages, and paid vacation leaves and sick leaves, non-monetary benefits, etc. For short-term paid absences, they include vacation, holiday, maternity, paternity, and sick leaves. Okay? So it could either be accumulating or non-accumulating. Pag sinabi nating accumulating, this can be carried forward and used in future periods. Nag-a-accumulate, naiipon. Okay? So, accumulating paid absences may be either vesting or non-vesting. So, pag sinabi nating vesting, kung naipon siya, tapos hindi mo nagamit on those years that you have rendered service, pag nag-resign ka, it will be paid in cash. Samantalang kapag hindi siya nag-vest, edi walang payment ng cash. They are not monetized. Okay. Samantalang pag non-accumulating naman, these are benefits that expire if not used in the current period. And hindi rin sila paid in cash kapag nag-leave yung ating employee. Okay? So pag accumulating, naiipon. Pag non-accumulating, nag-expire. Pag vesting, pag nag-resign siya, nababayaran ng cash yung benefits na hindi niya nagamit. Pag non-vesting, hindi na ma-monetize. Compensated absences are recognized as follows. Pag accumulating and vesting, all unused entitlements are accrued and measured at their expected settlement amount. Okay? Pag accumulating and non-vesting, only those that are taken into account in terms of its possibility. No? So, gaano ka-probable na gagamitin or gaano ka-probable na aalis yung ating employee. Kaya kailangan natin mag-accrue based on that probability. Samantalang pag non-accumulating, it's only when the absences occur. For profit sharing and bonuses, these are additional incentives given to employees for a variety of reasons. The most obvious is to motivate the employees to be more productive. Profit sharing and bonuses are recognized when the entity has a present obligation to pay for them, letter A, and the cost can be measured reliably. Examples of bonus schemes are as follows. So, andito na rin yun. By the way, no, I'll pass this handout to you guys once we're done discussing. So, you don't need to copy anything. So for post-employment benefits, these are employee benefits that are payable after the completion of employment. So examples are as follows. So we have retirement benefits, other post-employment benefits, so on and so forth. Kaya siya tinawag na post-employment kasi nga itong benefits na to ay kapag natapos yung ating employment. They can be formal, explicitly stated in a contract, or informal. Okay? So, dahil batas o kaya past practice na ng ating employer. At pwede rin tong contributory or non-contributory as well as funded or unfunded. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Kapag sinabi nating contributory, both the employer and employee contribute to the retirement fund. So, pag sinabi naman nating non-contributory, ang nagko-contribute lang ay si employer. Pag contributory, employer and employee. Kapag non-contributory, si employer lang. Kapag sinabi nating funded, the retirement is transferred to a trustee. So may investment company na nagmamanage ng funds. Pero kapag walang ganon, pag si employer mismo yung nagmamanage, ang tawag doon ay unfunded. In terms of classification of post-employment benefits, we have defined contribution plan and defined benefit plan. For the defined amount of the defined contribution plan, so wag na kayong lumayo sa analysis, take it from the term itself. Kapag defined contribution plan, definite yung contribution. Kaya fix yung ating contribution. Pag sinabi naman nating defined benefit plan, defined yung benefit. Kaya yung fixed ay yung benefit amount. Okay? Kaya naman, kanino yung risk? Na sino ang nag-shoulder ng risk kapag insufficient yung fund? Kapag defined contribution plan, ang obligation lang ng employer is magbayad ng contribution. Ngayon, kung nagbago yung valuation ng benefit, wala nang pakialam si employer doon. So, any of those risks is shouldered by the employee as long as the employer pays the fixed contribution. Samantalang pag defined benefit plan, ang nag-shoulder ng risk ay si employer. Kasi nga ginagaranti niya yung valuation ng benefit rather than yung contribution niya. Okay? So that is for the classification of post-employment benefits. Now, before we go to our accounting for benefit, defined contribution and benefit plans, I think it's beneficial for us to first have examples of our short-term benefit plans as well as bonus examples. Sige, let me just stop sharing this and start sharing the other screen. Hold on. Okay. So Mikey Company had the following employees who resigned during the year. So look at their monthly basic pays, their date hired, and their date of resignation. So we will now determine the following for each employee: their total 13th month pay to be paid, as well as the total short-term employee benefits for 2023. Sige. So try to first count the number of months for each employee and determine ilang months kaya yung kanilang 13th month pay in terms of the year 2023. Okay. Sige. So let's do it together. So for employee A, their 13-month pay is from January 1 to April 1. So ilang months yun? 3 months. So if their monthly pay is 90,000 and we multiply it 3 months out of 12, their prorated 13th month pay will be 22,500. How about for employee B? It's June 30, 2023. So it's 6 months. 90,000 times 6 months out of 12. So that's 45,000. Employee C, that would be 90,000 times 11, or it's on November 1. So 10 out of 12. So that's 75,000. And lastly, for employee D, that would be 90,000 times from January to August, that would be 7 out of 12. But hold on, carefully here, because if you would observe employee C and employee D, their date of hiring is also within the year, June 1. Kaya dapat ang counting natin is not starting from January. It should start from June 1. So June, July, August, September, October. So it should only be 5 months out of 12. So 90,000 times 5 months out of 12. And then for employee D, it should be from March 31. So April, May, June, July. 4 months out of 12. 4 months out of 12. Okay? June, July, August, September, October. So that's 5 months out of 12. Ayan. 50,000 times 5 out of 12. There you go. Ayan. This one is 90. This one is correct. There we go. So 13th month pay will be as follows. And their basic pay is already given. So total short-term employee benefits in terms of their duration until their date of resignation would be as follows. No? So itong 90,000 i-adjust natin to dahil nga may basic pay silang iba-iba. 120, 50, and then 90,000 again. So this one is 90. This one would be 120, 50, and then there we go. Sakto. So for their total basic pay, it would be 90,000 times ilang months from January to April 1. That would be 3 months. And then 120 times 6 months. 50,000 times June, July, August, September, October, 5 months. And then 90,000 times April, May, June, July. So 4 months. All right. So their total pay, their total benefits would be their prorated 13-month pay and their total basic pay until their date of resignation. So that's 292,500, 780, 278,333, and 390,000. So that's 173,333 if we are asked of the total. Pero kung per employee, di itong sagot natin. Any questions on the first example that we have for Mikey Company? If you don't have any questions, please type Mikey in the chat. So we could move forward to our next example. Sige. Okay, let's continue. For Ariel Company, they pay bonus to its management team equal to 6% of its net income. Okay? For the year 2023, the company earned net income before tax of 4,770,000. Relevant income tax rate is 25%. Okay, so number 1, bonus is based on net income before bonus and income tax. So, straightforward lang to. This would be 4.77 million. Scenario 1. 4,770,000 multiplied by 6%. So that would be 286,200. Sulat rin natin siya dito. Okay. Balik daw tayo dito kay employee C. Paano naging 5 months? So from June 1 to November 1. So June, July, August, September, October. We don't count November dahil nag-resign siya sa unang araw ng November. So buong June, July, August, September, October. 5 months. I hope that answers your question. Okay, balik tayo dito. So paano naman kapag yung bonus natin is based on net income after bonus but before income tax? Okay. So bonus is based on net income after bonus. Bonus percentage times net income minus bonus. Parang ganyan. Okay? So, rearrange your application. Ididiretso na natin to, no? Because we have several more examples to go. This would be 4.77 million divided by 1.06. So, 1 plus the bonus rate times the bonus rate of 6%. Okay. So, that's 270,000. For scenario number 3, bonus is based on net income before bonus but after income tax. So kung ita-translate natin siya, bonus is based on net income after bonus, net income before bonus but after income tax. So our formula would be net income and then multiplied by the tax rate multiplied by net income minus the bonus. Okay. So net income minus tax times net income minus bonus. Okay. So bonus would be equal to, so 6% times net income is 4.77 million minus the tax rate is 25% times 4.77 million minus our bonus. Okay. So we further simplify this. This would be 6% times 4.77 million minus, no, now we distribute the 25%, 1,992,500 minus 25% bonus. Then we distribute the negative sign, 6% times 4.77 million plus, or minus, I should say, 1,992,500 plus 25% bonus. Okay. So 6% multiplied by 3,577,500 plus 25% bonus. We distribute the 6%. So 6% times 3,577,500 is 214,650 plus 6% times 25% bonus is 1.5% bonus. So if we will transfer the bonus to the other side, bonus 1 minus 1.5% bonus is equal to 214,650. So 98.5% bonus is equal to 214,650. And if we divide both sides by 98.5%, bonus would be equal to 217,918.73. So that is for situation number. So tandaan natin ha, pag yung bonus natin is based on income before bonus, but after income tax, this is the formula that we would follow. Bonus percentage times the bracket of net income minus the group of tax percent times net income minus bonus. For our last scenario, scenario number 4, bonus is based on net income after bonus and after income tax. So the formula that we will follow is bonus is equal to bonus percentage times, dito sa unang part, kanina net income lang to, this would now be net income minus the bonus and then minus the tax percentage times net income minus bonus. So if we substitute, bonus is equal to 6% times Net income is 4.77 million. Bonus, we don't know. Minus the tax percentage is 25%. Times 4.77 million minus the bonus. Okay. So if we fast forward this, we can copy a similar solution here. Ano? So dito, dadagdagan lang natin to ng minus bonus here. And then we distributed the 25% already, right? And then we distribute the sign. So 6% times 4.77 million minus bonus minus 1,992,500 plus 25% bonus. Then we combine similar terms, 6% times. So 4.77 million minus 1,192,500 is 3,577,500. Negative B plus 25% B would be negative 75% bonus. And then we distribute 6%. Bonus is equal to 6% times 3,577,500 is 214,650. Minus 75% times 6% is equal to 4.5%. So if we transfer the bonus to the other side, bonus plus 4.5% bonus is equal to 214,650. 104.5% bonus is equal to 214,650. So bonus would be equal to 205,407. That's for scenario number 4. So to answer these questions, let's summarize. 286,200 for scenario 1, 270,000 for scenario 2, 217,918.78, and 205,406.7. So this is one of those types that is easy and hard at the same time, because all you have to do is memorize this formula for an easier time. But at the same time, there's so many room for error, so please do it carefully, no? And practice. Practice, 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 sabi ko nga. Okay. So kung pinapa-compute kayo ng number 3 at number 4, you might want to do number 3 first. Tapos sa number 4, i-adapt mo yung line hanggang dito, 'di ba? Remember we did that. Just remember to put a minus bonus in between your net income, preliminary net income amount. And by net income before tax, no, yung meaning natin. Okay, that's it for Ariel Company. So if you were able to follow our heavily formula-based solution, and if you don't have any questions on how to follow that formula, then please type Ariel in the chat. So we could move on to our next question. Pag meron, patay pa rin po sa chat kung meron tayong tanong. I would pass in the solution file for this one, no, as right as we end our meeting, so you don't have to copy anything. How about the others? Do you have any questions? Yes, pag after bonus, ito yung ating formula. Divide your net income amount by 1 plus the bonus percentage and then multiply it by the bonus percentage. Kaya kung i-revise natin to, net income divided by 1 plus the bonus percentage times the bonus percentage. Parang ganyan na lang yung ginawa niya. Okay na po ba? Alright. So let's continue to John Company. Okay. And we have various scenarios here. Scenario 1 and scenario 2. Scenario 1 is wherein our absences are accumulating. Scenario 2 is wherein our absences are non-accumulating. And then we have our accrued liability to follow. Okay. So for John Company, daily salary for current is 2,000. The daily salary for the future is 2,200. And we have this used paid absences. The requirements are the total expense for the paid absences and the accrued liability for each of these situations. So for employee A, employee B, employee C, and employee D, their salary base currently is 2,000, 1,825, and 1,500. Their utilized absences, VL, sabihin na lang natin, okay, are 14, 16, 12, and 8. Therefore, it would be 28,000, 28,800, 30,000, and 12,000. So expense from used vacation leaves would be 98,800. Okay. Now, for our unused vacation leaves this time, this is assuming that the paid absences are accumulating, naiipon. We will now use their future salary basis. No? The logic is, since naiipon siya, next year, ang value na nung leaves na hindi natin nagamit is the future salary basis. So that's why the rates that we would use here is 22, 1980, 2750, and 1650. Ano yung unused vacation leaves natin? Ilan? So 20, ang ating absences na paid. So 14 yung used, kaya ang unused ni A ay 6. 20 minus 16, unused ay 4. 20 minus 12, unused ay 8. 20 minus 8, unused ay 12. So therefore, these are the valuations of the unused vacation leaves. So this is expense this time from unused vacation leaves, amounting to 62,920. So what would be our total expense? $98,800 plus 62,920. So that would be 161,720. Magkano yung ating liability? The accrued liability would refer to yung hindi pa natin na-claim, yung hindi pa na-claim ng ating employee. So that would be 62,920. Okay? So that is for scenario number. Now, for scenario number 2, what if the paid absences are non-accumulating? So, ibig sabihin, hindi makikarry over yung unused natin na leaves. Eh, di diretso lang tayo. The expense from used vacation leaves would be straightforward, and our answer would be 98,800. And our accrued liability would be 0. So those are our answers for this problem. 98,800, or sorry, 162,720 if it's accumulating. The accrued liability is 62,920. Accrued liability 90. 62,920 for scenario 1, 0 for scenario 2. So yung expense niya dito, 98,800. Ayan. Okay. So the total expense for accumulating is yung used at yung unused based on future pay. Samantalang yung accrued liability ng accumulating ay yung unused based on future pay, but for non-accumulating, no accrual is needed. Okay. So that's it for John Company. So now we'll go to the next topic, but let's just make sure that you follow this. So if you don't have any questions for this company, kindly type John in the chat. But if you have any questions, again, kindly also type them in the chat. Pero pag wala po, pa-type na lang po ng John, as in John Company. We go back to our handout after this. Okay. Sige. So tuloy tayo sa ating handout. All right. So we'll have a